What is currently happening, programs? Welcome to the Grid VR, where I'll be bringing you this week's news in virtual reality. It's Saturday, the 8th of September 2018, and all I can say this week is, are you copying me? Are you copying me? We've got Windlands 2 soaring through the air, echolocation intensifying fear, Iron Wolf submersive warfare, Zero killed, Witching Tower, Viveport store, and much more. Today, I'm going to cover off the main events to keep you in the loop. So stay locked, enjoy, and welcome to the Grid VR. At a time when big names dipping their toes in the VR water were playing it safe as houses with teleport and snap turn only mechanics, Psytec were like, fuck that shit, we're all gonna throw up in our hands as we soar like Spider-Man and pass out from low poly head spins, and we're gonna love every minute of it. Windlands was an early VR title not to be missed, and scratched the hallucinogenic Tarzan of the jungle itch I'm assuming that the rest of the VR community was experiencing. Next week, the stylized swing-tastic sequel to Windlands, titled Windlands 2, will be releasing on the Oculus Store for Rift users. The game has been expanded to include not only single player, but also a new 4-player co-op mode. There's bow and arrow, expansive areas to navigate, multiple advanced game modes, timed speedruns, collectibles, Easter eggs, achievements, and more. I've actually had a chance to play this one already, though I can't show any footage just yet, but from what I played, it was pretty neat. And with friends, this would be a unique and fun social experience. People prone to motion sickness definitely need not apply though, as there is no way in the metaverse you'll be able to play long enough to get value for money. But those who can handle reasonably intense VR movement, on the other hand, should at least give it a go. Battle epic titans and save the world, Windlands 2 will be released next week on September the 12th with a 15% pre-order discount on the Oculus Store right now, landing the game at $25. A release for Steam and PSVR has also been slated for early 2019. Iron Wolf is a single or multiplayer, room-scale, online, local, or co-op submarine game from Ionized Studios. Fire at enemy planes with the flat gun or siege enemy ships with the deck gun as you attempt to turn the tide of battle. Think of it like Bridge Crew, but more like Barge Crew, if that barge were permanently submerged. Each compartment fits to the minimum 2 by 1.5 meter room scale boundaries perfectly, and you can teleport between compartments using physical controls like opening a door or hatch, leading to the compartment you want to move to. The game actually hit the Steam store in 2017, but arrived on Oculus Home this week, and it's not something I've mentioned in detail here before, but it is something you should be aware of. Iron Wolf is $20 on Steam and the Oculus Rift store for Rift, Vive, and WMR users. First, there was Zero Caliber. Then, Firewall, 0 Hour. Now, from the team that brought you VR and AR trainings and interactive installations, comes Zero Kill. In what kind of looks like the Great Guiana Sisters to our Mario brothers, Ignibit are releasing a PC VR online multiplayer called Zero Killed. The game will apparently have 10 different characters, multiple classes, a load of different weapons, various locations, and a range of game modes, likely what you'd expect from other very similar online FPS games. It'll support gamepad and motion controllers, and it sounds like there will be no teleport option available, so smooth locomotion only, though the trailer does show a snap turning feature. I'm not really sure what to make of the trailer, as it's pretty
Ox, blow that shit out. This, you bastard. Biatch, hit her down.
Yeah, it's like that. It could totally be decent, as it's very tough to gauge from a trailer alone, and the closed beta starts in a little over a week on September the 17th, so I guess we'll find out shortly. The full game will be going live on Steam on September the 26th for Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, and WMR users. The devs have also confirmed a PSVR release for 2019, though they will likely have a tough time in that space, specifically because of the success Firewall 0 Hour is having right now. While you wait for that, stay locked for Destruct, and Rambo Sucks, Sergio. And briefly, Blind is a psychological VR thriller from Tiny Bull Studios that features an almost unique echolocate feature, if it weren't for Stifled, which I covered in this episode of the Grid VR in July, and to some degree Dispatch, which I covered in this episode of the Grid VR back in January. Still, a very cool game mechanic it is, and rather than overload the senses in VR, these experiences are doing almost the complete opposite of that and using minimalistic visuals to immerse you in unknown darkness and increase the tension that way. Solve puzzles and escape danger as you try to escape the devious warden and the mansion he has you entrapped in. Blind will be $25 and release on Steam, the Oculus Store, and on PSVR in a little over a week on September the 18th, so check all the links in the description below if this is something you want to keep your eyes on. Daily Magic Productions are releasing a VR action adventure called Witching Tower. Set 6 years after a War of the Undead that didn't turn out well for the general population, you are Anna, a sword, shield, bow and arrow, or book-wielding
Who throws a
book
honestly?
heroine who also has the ability to capture the mind of unsuspecting undead and control their movements, or whip them into shape with a magical lasso. Solve puzzles and explore the labyrinth inside the tower in this single-player dark fantasy fest as you attempt to overthrow the Queen of the Undead. The Witching Tower will drop on Steam, Oculus Store, and Viveport on October the 4th for Rift, Vive, and WMR users, though I've got no idea at this stage what the game will cost or if it will be ported to PSVR, but stay locked here for updates. At Computex last year, Intel was first seen showing off a wireless adapter attached to an HTC Vive that allowed the headset to operate without being tethered to a PC. That unit was powered by Intel's WiGig technology, operated over the 60Hz band to all but eliminate wireless interference, and utilized DisplayPort's XR codec to deliver a near zero latency wireless VR solution. And I covered all of that on this episode of the Grid VR in 2017. Using that same WiGig technology, the Vive wireless adapter is now available for pre-order and will begin shipping on September the 24th. Yay! With a price tag of $300 if you're in the US, or 300 quid if you're in the UK, plus another $60 if you have a Vive Pro. It's not cheap. A premium price tag, no doubt, for what is at this stage a premium feature. Check the links in the description below for the pre-order store links for US. Oh yeah, nice one. UK. Alright, that's a nice one, bruv. Though pre-orders are not available for Australia. Oh, get fucked. Or New Zealand. Oh, fuck you then. Feel 3 is a motion simulator dish that aims to bring realistic simulator movement to the home consumer market. Not too dissimilar from the smaller and more portable Yaw, which I covered in this episode of the Grid VR on the 4th of Feb this year, the Feel 3 option differs in that it provides what looks to be a more premium offering. I wasn't a fan of what I saw of the Yaw, as it seemed to sit at a price that wasn't low, but didn't really offer a comfortable solution for home VR sim users. Portable demos maybe, but not for power, elite dangerous sessions. The Feel 3 dish offers 100 degrees of pitch and roll and 5 full rotations in Yaw, has support for over 80 VR games already, is a modular product, weighs 85 kilo all up, and absolutely smashed its Kickstarter goal in under 5 hours. The unit started at around $2,500 US, with a standard sim pack landing at a little over $5K US. Look, I've got nowhere near that amount of cash to drop on a dish, but if I were heavily invested in Sims or had that kind of cash lying around, then this is the unit I would be eyeballing. Also, Apollyon has updated the Oculus Tray tool. In my opinion, this is the best free app Oculus Rift users can pick up to boost the quality of the image they see in the Rift, as well as a ton of other things like set up voice commands, arrange your Steam library, profiles, and way more. And you can can see this video here for everything you need to know about that app. The best third-person VR game I've ever played, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, is 50% off on Steam right now, and you can see a full review of the game in this video here. Echo Combat is running another beta weekend at the moment, which goes until tomorrow, the 9th of September. It brings a load of bug fixes and a very much requested parties feature, so grab your friends and
Party on, Wayne! Party on, Garth.
Pimax will begin shipping its 5K and 8K headsets to early Kickstarter backers in the next few weeks, and 5K backers will now instead get a 5K Plus model upgrade free of charge that has improved visually sharper panels. So if you are a Pimax backer and at this point you're not excited, you fucking should be. I've covered the Pimax headsets extensively on this channel, so for everything you need to know, as always, all the links are in the description. And finally, Viveport have opened their store to Oculus Rift owners in an attempt to make some money for a change. And I have exclusive footage of every single Oculus Rift user simultaneously racing to the Viveport store now that it has opened its doors. And that's this week on The Grid VR. You can help support this channel by grabbing exclusive rewards on Patreon, and if you like this video, then crush that like button, have your say in the comments below, and hit the EXO logo to subscribe if you wanna. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!